This is Sarah Herbert with the COM 101 Fundamentals of Public Speaking class, and this is speech number 4, the persuasive speech. Okay. In a series of Star Wars movies, clones bravely and steadfastly fight for the Republic. Cloning seemed impossible then, but in today's world, the prospect of human cloning is no longer looked at as an unrealistic phenomenon only achieved in science fiction books and movies. Many people now believe that society will see a cloned human in the near future. For fear of where it shall lead, human cloning should be banned before it is even attempted. One reason human cloning should be banned is because it is highly unethical. It would deliberately create and destroy human life for the sake of research and experimentation. Embryos used in cloning experiments would undoubtedly experience developmental abnormities or genetic rejections within them. In such cases, these embryos would have to be disposed of, even after they have started developing. Since the cells would have already been multiplying, human life would have begun. According to Keith Moore, author of Essentials of Human Embryology, life officially begins for a child when the cells begin to divide and designate themselves for specific purposes. Shortly after the embryonic stage, a human begins to grow inside the womb. Once the child is born, the infant will gradually grow into an adult. This cycle of life would be disturbed if the intentional destruction of human embryos took place during cloning research. Thus, the killing of eggs would have to be classified as murder. Now, by murdering embryos, research cloning would violate the American principle of equality. The United States was most importantly founded on the idea that all men are created equal, an idea that would be contradicted if human cloning were to take place. If an embryo was created, thus a human life, the use and destruction of it would allow society to believe that not everyone has the protection that is given to all others. If cloning were to become acceptable in the future, children would also become items of a manufacturing process. Parents would sacrifice spontaneity in place of security and self-assuredness of how their soon-to-be child would look and act. Possibly, they would go to great lengths to find a DNA donor of whom they prefer their child to look like. Such sought-after DNA would increase commercialization of perfecting the human race and creating perfect children. Additionally, absence of two sets of genes could also cause family relations to be damaged. Fathers could become twin brothers to their sons, while mothers twin sisters, or grandparents actually parents. Also, supposing that a mother had her DNA cloned and gave birth to her genetic twin, the child would be growing up as a replica of her mother. The father could then look at his daughter and see the girl that he fell in love with when he was younger, causing problems among the daughter-father relationship. Besides the reality that human cloning is unethical, another reason it should be banned is because it is extremely dangerous. Although some believe that there will be a time when cloning will actually be able to be accomplished perfectly, right now there are numerous problems still occurring during animal cloning. Currently, cloning has a low success rate of 0.1% to 3%. Dolly the sheep being an example of this. It took 276 attempts before she was successfully created. These low success rates are attributed to miscarriages and early deaths caused by a variety of complications before birth. Possibly the egg and nucleus of the cell may not have been compatible, or the egg may not divide or develop properly. Implantation of the embryo could fail, or the pregnancy itself may fail. However, if the clone is successfully born, abnormalities in maturing can cause death as well. Commonly, weakened immune systems develop in clones because the DNA taken from the adult to be cloned allows the embryo to inherit older genes, and as the cells divide, their chromosomes get shorter due to the constant division of DNA. And cloned DNA is already shortened if it is taken from a matured animal. Human cloning is predicted to be even riskier than that of animals. Given the high rate of mortality and the cloning of other mammals, cloning to produce children would be unsafe, even if animal cloning was perfected. One mistake in replicating a human would result in death and ultimately murder. And even if the reprogramming of DNA does not go exactly right, thousands of strands of genetic material in a human could become abnormal and deformed. Even Wilmot, the creator of Dolly, said that, "I think now to contemplate using our present techniques with humans would be quite inhuman, due to all the complications that are associated with cloning." However, if a human clone were to be successfully created, he would be researched upon constantly, a violation of privacy, and research would always have to be performed, putting his life in danger and causing him to be treated unequally to the rest of society. Society, however, may be in danger itself if cloning occurred. In attempts to perfect the human race, scientists may try and rid unwanted genes, and desired traits may be placed in genetic material more frequently. This would drastically narrow the gene pool, whose diversity is the very strength of it. If genetic makeup of society is too similar, a single disease could wipe out an entire population, thus leading to extinction. Okay, and now a third reason human cloning should be banned is because it would exploit women. In the beginning stages of human cloning, countless tries at creating the first baby would have to be attempted and investigated upon. Research cloning would require millions of eggs, which only women can give, causing them to be thought of as mere egg-making machines. Currently, egg harvesting for stem cell research involves a drug treatment and intrusive procedure that puts women at a greater risk for ovarian cancer and infertility and other health hazards also. Abdominal pain also accompanies women after they give donations. Of these who donate their eggs, 3 to 5% experience hyperstimulation, a strain on the reproductive organs. This pain is something that no woman should have to endure for the sake of research, and poor, disadvantaged women would undoubtedly suffer from it the most. An extensively large majority of women would be motivated by financial gain, since a large number might not have any other means of income. And a woman finding herself in need of money could very well resort to donating her eggs, possibly unaware of the consequences. Currently, women who give egg donations get paid about $3,500 to $4,000. And in cloning, eggs would constantly have to be replenished in place of a failed experiment. So also, for these experiments, the need for surrogates to carry the embryos would arise, and countless numbers of women would have to carry a child that would not be their own for the sake of cloning studies. And this again would be a means of income for financially struggling women, as surrogate mothers who carry other children get paid approximately $25,000 for their services right now. So, in conclusion, human cloning should be banned because it is far too risky to even be attempted. Countless numbers of innocent lives will die if cloning experiments on humans ever come about. The murdering of untainted lives would simply be immoral and unethical, and also the killing of children would always be on the minds of those scientists who try and create a clone. God, and only God alone, should be the creator of a unique human life.